It is the 20th race of the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season, and we're back on JRTV for the 20th race, the Tropicana 400 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Only the second ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series race at this racetrack. Last season it was filled with chaos. We'll see how it goes this season in Chicagoland as the points battle is so narrow with just 13 races left. I'm Joey Castellan, sending me in the booth. It's Trey Bardo. And Trey, have you ever seen a championship battle quite this close this late in the season with so many drivers with a shot at the points lead leaving today at Chicagoland?
I don't remember the last time there was a battle this close this far into the season. I mean, it's honestly been a while, because normally by this point it's down to 2-3 drivers, if anything, just 2.
Yeah, and now we have 9 drivers within 200 points of the points leader. So Keyshawn Richardson has been able to hold his points throughout the summer months, but the summer months have not been good to him. You think about Michigan, where he had a good run going, but fell a lap down and finished way back in the field. At Loudon, he could not finish inside the top 10. Road America and Daytona were not good to him as well. Daytona, he got last place. Meanwhile, you have drivers like Zachary DeLello, who's won 2 of the last 3. Mathis Wells won back-to-back at Pocono and then Michigan. And then other drivers like Justin Atkins has just been very consistent. Conrad Evans has been the same story as his teammate there. Matthew Burnett, Sebastian Kugelheim have had hints of greatness, but have kind of fallen off. And then even behind them, like Jordan Stout and Anthony Hernandez, they're also there. So Trey, with 9 drivers in it to basically try and fight for that championship battle, and Keyshawn Richardson kind of on a slump right now, DeLello and Wells kind of on the uptick throughout the summer months. Do you think that someone like DeLello or Wells could maybe leave today as the points leader, considering they're starting pretty well, but Keyshawn Richardson also starting well in the 7th position?
I mean, honestly, Joe, anything could happen here. You get caught up in one incident, and just like last week, Keyshawn was caught up in an incident, and it all went downhill from there. So I don't think you can make a strong, estimate on what would happen, but you could take some guesses, and I bet you one of them's going to hit.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think it's just going to be a fun race in terms of the championship battle, because look at the front of the field. Jordan Stout, who's one of them up there in that championship fight, he starts on pole for this race. Conrad Evans is up there 4th in the points. He starts 2nd. Mathis Wells, who's 5th in the points, starts 3rd. Justin Atkins, 3rd in the points, starts in 5th. And then Keyshawn Richardson, the points leader, in 7th. DeLello, 2nd in the points, starts back in 9th. Even behind them, Matthew Burnett and Sebastian Kugelheim also start inside the top 15. So, Trey, all the championship frontrunners are starting very well here today, and all of them have the opportunity to run up towards the front and basically battle among themselves for the race victory for top 5s or top 10s.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're going to see a thing today where these drivers are a little bit more aggressive, especially those 9 that have a chance to do it. Just because, I mean, who doesn't want to walk away from a race being the points leader, right? And if you're the points leader and next week you have a better week, I mean, you just gain that points gap. So I think those drivers that are still in this hunt are definitely going to be, putting their car on the line more than we would expect them to be.
And everyone's going to want track position at a track like Chicagoland, considering how crazy it was in the mid-pack last season. We'll go over that in just a little bit. But also, after qualifying and inspection, Luke Renier was set to start inside the top 10, 8th place. It was going to be probably a really good day for that 88 team, and they needed some sort of good day for them as their summer months have not been great. But Luke, unfortunately, failed inspection. He'll be starting back in the 42nd and final position. We'll see how he can try and move his way through the field in that number 88 UPS Ford for Robert Yates Racing. We'll take a look now at the Ford Fast Facts here for Chicagoland and the race rundown. Clear sunny skies here in Joliet, Illinois for the Tropicana 400. 81 degrees, so a pretty warm day for these drivers and fans here at Chicagoland. 2 miles an hour wind in the southeast direction, and a small, less than 5% chance of rain here for the race in Chicagoland. It's a 54-lap race, 81 miles in length, and the fuel window is 27 to 30 laps. They go just at the midpoint, just past it. We'll have to see if strategy comes into play this season. Last season we had so many cautions, they didn't have to pit under green. They didn't really have any other differing strategy games to play. We'll see if it goes differently here this season at Chicagoland. And the track length, 1.5 miles in length, 18 degrees of banking in the turn, 11 degrees on the front stretch, and 5 degrees on the back stretch. The first race and the track opening was both in the same year. That was last year in 2001. And Mathis Wells won the inaugural Chicagoland race. He'll start in 3rd here today. And last season, 19 of the 42 cars to start the race ended up DNFing. So it was a carnage-filled race, 4 caution flags, a few big crashes. We saw some cars even upside down in this race. Will it be any calmer? Well, some of the drivers have expected it to maybe be just as crazy. However, with the track a little bit more worn, they have laps on this track. Maybe the teams have found out the specified setup for these for these cars at this racetrack. We'll see if that plays any role into how this race performs here today at Chicagoland. It's about time to go trackside for the command to fire these engines up for the 20th NASCAR Winston Cup Series race of the 2002 season.
Drivers, start your engines!
"42 cars fire up, and they're rolling here at Chicagoland for the Tropicana 400 here in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Back in 8th place to start is number 8 of Eli Bright. While he started the season on a very, very high note, winning a race and running well up inside the top 5 and top 10, Trey just has not been like that lately. He has fallen in points, and that team's morale has been down. But here, starting in 8th place today, it could be a big day for them to try and get some of that morale back.
Yeah, it's weird to see how much they just fell. I don't remember the last time I've seen a driver or a team just go from such high highs to low lows in such a quick time. But hopefully, I mean, today, like you said, they're starting well. Maybe they can find something here to get some of that spirit back.
Remember, all 3 DEI cars won earlier this season. They have not won since Hernandez won that race at Richmond. And then back here, a team that is still looking for some sort of good luck. Brett Sear, this 25 starts in 11th place. The last 2 weeks, Trey, a Hendrick car possibly could have gone victory lane, but didn't. And Brett's still searching for his first top 5 of the season.
Yeah, I mean, every time a Hendrick car looks like they're going to win the race, something bad happens in one way or another. And hopefully today this doesn't happen again.
Well, the pace car is in. Jordan Stout, Conrad Evans, 2 of the championship frontrunners on the front row to take the green flag in the second ever Tropicana 400. Brett Sierra being very aggressive, 3 wide on lap 1 and putting second in points. Zarko DeLello to the middle lane. Laura Chung now atop in the number 9 as they go through 3 and 4 for the first time today. Eli Bright middle 3 behind as they come off 4 for the first time. They all set up towards the wall, and the leader of the first lap is the number 6 of Jordan Stout.
Yeah, I think that move by Sears shows you that no matter where you're at in points, everyone's going to race you just like you're a normal guy out on track. They're not really going to show you any whoa, Brett slid up the track big time there. But I was going to say they're not going to show you any you know, favoritism there, but he looks like he got himself clean as, like I said, Sierra slid up the track in 2.
Did you see that move by Eli Bright? He was middle of 3, about 2 rows behind Brett Sierra, and cleared everyone, and has now gotten his way down to the inside. What a run for that number 8 on lap number 2, getting by all these drivers and pushing his way up inside the top 5.
Yeah, I don't know what's into Eli right now, but he's driving like it's the last lap.
He's a man possessed out there. Look at Laura Chung and near Conrad Evans. Maybe some contact made between those two as they race 3 wide with Riley Spurgeon to the inside down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. Nolan Lawrence was fastest in practice, not as good in qualifying, but still started inside the top 20. He's moving low on teammate Laura Chung and Sebastian Kukulan as these drivers still are stuck in a major pack. Conrad Evans started second in this race, Trey. He's outside the top 15 now.
Yeah, it seems like some drivers going up the field like butter, and the other ones are falling through the field like a rock. And like you said, as we're looking 4 wide. Oh no! And they're around.
Conrad Evans, Lathan Strickland, Noah Clifton, they all stack up.
Them in. Oh, 2 Hendrick cars are involved. Oh. You'd have to think maybe something with the 14, a throttle stuck, or the brakes are broken or something.
Something like that, but unfortunately the caution flag is out, and Trey, some more of our championship drivers. Conrad Evans up there in points, Matthew Burnett up there in points. Both of them got collected in this, and meanwhile, the championship points leader Keyshawn Richardson rides in second place. My goodness. Look at Luke Rainey, who only reason he was back there was because inspection he's involved.
That shows you how important qualifying is.
Yep, Anderson Reed, the 14, all sorts of damage. Baby Rose is going to be done in the 92. And that's such a tough break for a lot of these drivers who really, that they qualified their way into the race. They were excited to, get into this race, try and get some points, and they're not going to get the points now because a lot of them were involved in it.
A little bit of contact there. I think the brakes are a little hurt right now.
Yeah, well, when
Joe, that was probably one of the slowest wrecks I've ever seen.
Yeah, we kind of saw it coming as they exited turn 2, but halfway down the backstretch was when it started. It took a while, but look at the damage, Trey, to fourth in points, Conrad Evans, as he is all torn up on that left side and even the rear end.
That's crazy. What? He was second at Daytona?
Yep.
And now he's probably going to be outside the top 5 in points?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not been a good summer for Conrad Evans. Now he has to make sure he doesn't run to Lathan on pit road.
oh, that's just insult to injury if that would have happened. But yeah, I mean, that just shows you that 2 bad races in a row and you can plummet with how close these points are.
And this man, Jordan Stout, he's been on fire as of late, continuing to have strong runs as he leads in the Tropicana 400 under their first caution flag. We'll go check out what happened to Conrad Evans and the rest of the field behind him. Well, Trey, as they come out of camera frame right there and now into the other camera frame, you can see Justin Zeidel, the 24, sliding up the racetrack because I'm sure his spotters probably saying the 45's looking inside. That puts Clifton up into 4th in the points. Conrad Evans, he goes around. Look at Chris Jericho, just darts to the bomb to miss it. But unfortunately for Lathan Strick and the others behind, they could not find a way to miss it.
Watch Hernandez here. Oh, just gets... You know, if Lathan spins right there after the contact with the 31, he's probably collecting his teammate.
Look at Bibi Ruiz coming in like a top into Teague, and Osgin was there. Luke Rennie has mentioned Jay Rando, Keegan Thompson, Noah Clifton. There's Ruiz, and then Yepez trying to get low. He was involved, and then Anderson Reed coming out of the smoke, and maybe just didn't see Bibi Ruiz there in time.
Yeah, you're that, or I mean, there could be liquid on the track. You know, the brakes are stuck or something like that. But yeah, it's just I mean, even though, like we said, we saw it at the beginning of at the exit of turn 2, when that smoke gets up there, you can't see anything. You just can't avoid it.
And unfortunately, it collected a lot of cars and a lot of drivers that were needing good days out of today. It's not going to happen for them with all sorts of damage on many race cars towards the back of the field. We'll go take a look at this wreck one more time at full speed. And one more view as they work through 1 and 2. Hunter Reed not really there. The 24 just kind of sliding up, and I mean, once again, Trey, I don't know if you could put blame on anyone for the start of that wreck. Just kind of one of those racing incidents.
Honestly, once the 31 and the 32 got together, I don't think you could have really separated them until one of them gave way and spun out. So, like you said, it's honestly just a racing incident there, and not much you can really do. It's a shame so many people were involved, but, I mean, that's just a product of racing.
A lot of drivers down near the top 35 in owners points cutoff were involved in this, along with Conrad Evans and Matthew Burnett with some slight damage in the number 17. But another Roush car is up front leading the way. Jordan Stout still leads the Tropicana 400 from pole position here in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Back to the green flag for our first restart of the day here at Chicagoland on lap number 9. It's Roush leading the way with Jordan Stout and our points leader Keyshawn Richardson. Out from the crash are Anderson Reed and Bibi Ruiz. Luke Rennie has found a lap down the 88. A tough break, remember, after being set to start inside the top 10 but failing inspection. That is why, you know, obviously the starting position means so much, especially at a track like Chicagoland. Hard to pass, very narrow, and we know it's been chaotic in the past. Jordan Stout and Keyshawn Richardson are first and second. Eli Bright with his impressive starts up to third, with Brett Sear right behind him in fourth, still searching for his first top 5 of the season. And DeLella, winner of 2 of the last 3 races, up inside the top 5. They have Evan Hunter, Riley Spraytube, Nolan Lawrence, Justin Atkins, and Tim Gary, the front 10. So both MB2 cars running pretty strong so far early on Chicagoland. We'll see how this restart goes for Jordan Stout and his teammate Keyshawn Richardson. We're back green flag racing, and the 99 gets a pretty good jump, Trey, gaining on the 6. Might look for a pass in turns 1 and 2.
Is he going to do it? No, so far he's just going to ride behind his teammate right there, and looks pretty comfortable. Actually, he's kind of peaking low. He might try to get something going into 3 here, but unless Brett Sear tries to cancel the party.
Brett Sear is going for third place on Eli Bright. Zach DeLello trying to join his 2 teammates at the front. He's trying to get back up there as Richardson still stays behind Jordan Stout. They come off 4. Stout continues to lead every lap so far from that pole position. Richardson, though, gets away in seconds. They stay side by side for third. Eli not giving it on the outside. Sear still trying to take it on the inside, down into turns 1 and 2. Sierra buries it to the bottom, but the 8 hanging tough, Trey. Doing a really good job with that outside lane, not giving into that number 25.
I mean, I guess he's thinking if no one's going to use it, I might as well put it to use, and he's doing a great job with it. They're going to put 3 wide now by the 97. This is going to be really showing the top side's the place you want to be. No, it's not. Eli absolutely checked up there.
Yeah, I think that was too high, Trey. I think he was a lane higher than he wanted to be, because now DeLello, he's going to get through. Maybe not. Evan Hunter 3 wide in the 36, but DeLello powers through the middle lane.
Eli really washed up that time around there, but luckily everyone's down. Oh, look, both of your cars are coming up here.
Yeah, Nolan Lawrence and Laura Chung are running together, kind of, you know, pushing each other up towards the front of the field. Lawrence leading the way, Chung trying to follow him through, and then they're bringing Sebastian Kukulon. Here comes Jericho. Oh, Sierra's in the wall.
Sierra smacked the wall.
And he tried to get down, but couldn't. Jericho got down low, but that really hurt Matt as well, who drops back into number 20, and Riley sprayed him as well. But Chris Jericho moving up nice. Remember, just missed that big crash, and now here he is, back up inside the top 10.
Oh, more contact, I think. Possibly four wide wall. How'd they keep it off of the wall? They're so far wide.
Yeah, if I'm Brett, I'm backing out of that because that would...
Wow, I don't know how they didn't wreck it there.
They should have. Riley and Brett made contact so many times. And
oh, he's in the wall again.
And I think Riley scraped the wall as well, as those two got very high and once again into the wall as we go back up to the front, kind of spread out, and still Jordan Estelle continuing to lead with Richardson and then their other teammate DeLello. So 1, 2, 3 for Roush Racing once again, this time at Chicagoland.
You know, honestly, imagine where Stout would be right now in the championships if he didn't get those disqualifications.
Well, absolutely, right? Because he had that disqualification at Homestead, cost him about 180 or so points. He would have been right up there about 20 points back of his teammate Keyshawn Richardson, and at the moment, as it stands, they would have been battling for the points lead right now.
That's just got to be... I mean, either Stout's doing everything he can to get himself back into this battle, or he's just driving out of anger for the rest of the season. I don't know which one you want to do. And honestly, I wonder if that's why Richardson's kind of just relaxing behind his teammate right now, because there's not really, other than, you know, the guy, his teammate behind him, there's not really that many other guys that are in the top 10.
Richardson got a good run right there as they come off turn number 4, but still stays right behind Stout for now, racing off into turn 1. No move being made for the race lead from Keyshawn Richardson onto Jordan Stout, but I think DeLello is closing in just a little bit at number 97, maybe just a tick faster than his two teammates up in front, starting to run them down, starting to sniff some of that draft and getting good runs down the straightaway. See right there, visibly, he's gaining back here. Eli Bright trying to fend off Chris Jericho. The 18 looking low, the 8 was running a little bit lower, trying to protect, and Jericho, though, trying to get to the inside of Eli Bright up in front. The Evernham cars are battling for top 5. Nolan Lawrence and Laura Chung going at it for 5th and 6th.
Does that put a smile on your face?
It does, seeing them both run near each other, but also up inside the top 10 and not, you know, back around 20th place or so.
And they're even giving each other a lot of room, so that's nice to see.
They are respectful racing.
Oh,
so far.
minus when they get put 3 wide here, or possibly if Kukolan decides to do it to them.
He's looking, he's trying to get a nose. He
there
does get low on Laura Chung and Nolan Lawrence. Might be able to get both of them in one deal.
Oh, there's Lawrence in the wall.
Lawrence scrapes the wall, but keeps it going straight. Eli Bright and Jericho will get around him on the inside lane. And now Eli might look and take it 3 wide right here. Kukolan still trying to complete the pass on Laura Chung for the 5th position. Here comes Atkinson, Tim Gary. The 10 back into the gas better than the 30, and they'll go 3 wide off 2 and down the backstretch.
I mean, look at what a quick 3 and 4 of 3 wide does. It just stacks everyone up here, and then that's how we get those pack situations, and that's how we get close to getting those incidences here. Lawrence has got to be careful here. Oh, I don't know how he kept it off the wall, but I mean, like I said, those short 3 wide moments we have just absolutely stacks everyone up behind them, and that creates those pack situations where, I mean, you're either going to be the one to, you know, drop back from that and lose all the positions, or you're going to be the one to capitalize on it and gain as many as you can.
Jericho capitalized on that moment right there as Eli Bright and Kukolan both got around Laura Chung, and they brought Jericho with. So now Chris Jericho up to 7th place. Tim Gary in the 10 being aggressive, going for 8th on Laura Chung. Justin Seidel trying to come back forward in the number 24 with Roberto Crown Jr. moving up nice in that number 43, trying to break his way up inside the top 10 for Petty Enterprises. At the front of the field is now a 3-car breakaway with Evan Hunter trying to make it 4 cars. As Stout still leads, DeLello is closed in on those 2 to make it 3 Roush cars under a blanket for the lead. And in doing that, he's brought Evan Hunter closer as well in the 36. And Hunter trying to get up there using the draft and close in, make it 4 cars and trying to break up that Roush party at the front of the field.
No, honestly, don't count on Hunter here. He's not a stranger to being the lower car in the pack here and still making it, you know, making his name known. So if these Roush guys continue to just ride behind each other here and Hunter can catch up, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a move.
Well, the summer months have been great to MB2 Motorsports. Hunter currently running inside the top 5. Tim Gary's teammate also up inside the top 10 right there, just behind Chris Jericho in 8th place. And here's a 3-way battle for 9th place. Zeidel had 9th, and now Roberto Crown Jr. tried to take it, but Justin Atkins tried to take it from both of them at the same time. And we'll do just that.
Here. You've got to be careful.
Whew, that was close racing.
Did he touch it?
It was close.
You know, Joe, I've noticed that you don't want to be top 3 wide coming off 4.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, we'll pass for the lead.
Yeah, first battle for the lead here today, and it'll come on lap number 21. Keyshawn Richardson getting by Jordan Stout. So now Richardson leads, but look at DeLello. He does not want his teammate to get those 5 bonus points because his teammate is the one leading the points, and he's in 2nd. That's
all it took was just one pass from one of these top 3, and it's going to open everything up here. But Richardson got out front. He is absolutely cruising right now. We're going to have a battle for second place. And look at Evan Hunter coming back into this.
Yeah, Evan Hunter is now going to make it 4 cars within half a second as Stout got back in line behind his teammate DeLello. Now Hunter, Kukulon are there, Eli Bright is there, Chris Jericho's there. We're now going to have 7 cars within a second for the race lead. Tim Gary back in 8th. 9th place is starting to spread out with Lawrence up to 9th. 10th place to Roberto Crown Jr. Fitzwater's moved up greatly from his poor starting spot in 11th place. And then Justin Atkins has fallen back now to 12th. And then 13th on back is still a logjam of cars. How about the good run through the field for, Nathan Stapleton, Ronald Kennington there. So some of the smaller teams moving up nicely and showing themselves to be favorites up inside the top 15.
Oh, look at Chuck trying to make a 4-wide move. Wow, that was very risky.
That would not have worked if she made that stick. Thankfully, the car did not have the grip to do that.
Kennington on the bottom went for the 3-wide, and Chong saw the gap, and she goes, you know what, I might as well try it. And that was a close call again.
She was absolutely sideways in the middle of Brett Sierra Mitchell Collins and somehow controlled the car. A little bit further back behind this, Keegan Thompson has some damage on that 5 car, but still kind of gaining. You see the rear end a little bit squatted down, the front end a little bit banged up. Conrad Evans, they fixed that car well. He's running. He had some of the most damage, but still running as some of the other damaged cars, like the 83, the 15, the 26, all the way back here to some of these cars that are much, much slower.
Yeah, we're going to be catching lap traffic at some point here. You got to think that, right? What was that, the 55 and the 49? Yes. Was that the 2 cars that were just ahead of these leaders here? So it'll be interesting to see how well these cars here will be able to handle that. But so far, this battle for third is starting to get a little spicy here. Got about 5 cars. You can possibly count 6 within it.
Now DeLello falls back outside of the top 3, might even fall outside the top 5 as he's dropping back on the outside. He'll get in line in 5th place as Hunter moves to 3rd, Kukulon moves to 4th. Still Keyshawn Richardson leading, but Stout is closing back in, and Trey, the pit stops are imminent for these race leaders as we're nearing the midway point. Let's go to our Van Tower Parts question of the week. Get out of the way before pit stops. Last week we had asked, is there a better solution for Super Speedway racing other than the plates? But Trey, the fan, said that the plates are the best solution at 61% of the vote.
You know what? That's the first time I was wrong in a while, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah, your record is still very, very positive, if that's any consolation. But this week's Advanced Auto Parts question of the week, the question is about our race leader, and more importantly, his points lead. Which driver that's behind him in points has the best shot to run him down and claim the points lead for themselves and even the championship for themselves? Is it DeLello, Atkins, Evans, or Wells?
You got to think it's his teammate, right?
DeLello, I mean, yeah.
If there's one thing to beat a Roush, it's another Roush at this point. Or actually, he just scraped the wall coming off before there. So, but no, if we're thinking strategically here, it's got to be another Roush.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that, especially DeLello's momentum he's had, but here's a battle for the lead. Stout trying to get by Richardson, who ran high through 1 and 2. I don't know what that was, maybe testing something out, but as the tires have worn out here, it's definitely been made harder to make passes. Now they're catching Luke Rennie, the lap car in the 88. He's already a lap down, about to fall 2 laps down because of that damage. He's slower, holding up the front too as Richardson tries to get around. He'll get to the inside, but Stout closes right up on the back bumper because of what happened with the 99, the 88.
I was curious if Sal was going to use Rainier as a pick there to pass the 99, but he ended up not doing that. He's going to stick behind his teammate Richardson here. I honestly, Joe, these 2 cars are the ones to beat. I mean, they have not been separated by each other for more than, what, quarter of a second this entire race?
Yeah, it's been these 2. Stout's going to try and undercut here. It looks like he's going to pit sooner than Keyshawn Richardson. He's coming down pit road first. I think Evan Hunter, Zach DeLello's coming in, so I like this call for some of these drivers.
I didn't know if Gary was going to pinch up on Eli there, trying to give his teammate room to get down on pit road or not.
Even some others. Jason Albert came in. I think that's Samet Oskin. Diego Yepes came in. Nolan Lawrence came in. So that 19 crew, especially Nolan Lawrence, even last season Lawrence really liked different strategies, whether it was stay out longer or come in sooner. It looks like today his strategy was to come in much, much sooner. As Richardson, is he still staying out here, Trey?
Still staying out. Maybe he saw the, who was that? Was that Mitchell Collins a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
He did the long run. And it ended up working out?
Yeah, maybe he's hoping to yellow to catch these guys lap down, but it looks like he is a lonely man on that strategy here, Trey.
Is he the only one that stayed out?
He is
really
the only man who has stayed out.
He's got to come down this time.
He has to come to pit road this time. If he doesn't, I mean, even now, right, with him pitting so late, he's probably not coming out as the lead unless Stout and some of the others had trouble on pit road.
No, yeah, okay. It looks like he's coming down this time, but yeah, there's I don't think Stout or anyone had any problems on pit road, so you got to think that there's no way Richardson's holding his lead.
And a good stop for Evan Hunter here, Trey. So either Stout had a little bit of a slower stop or Hunter had a really good pit stop, but Hunter comes out right with Jordan Stout in the number 6. We'll see if he can try and run down Stout, maybe make it a battle for lead between those guys. And where are these drivers that are coming off pit road? Where will they cycle? Like Jericho and Kukulon, they came in up towards the front of the field. There's Jericho, there's Kukulon. Might the 29 beat these drivers or at least come out with these drivers?
If he can get up there and try to stall the 6's momentum, he might be able to do it, Joe. I think he might have it here. Oh, the 6 is going to try the top side. He's got him cleared. Does the 36 have him cleared as well?
And look at Hunter gain big on Stout. Evan Hunter going for the 6 here off of 4. Looking to the bottom lane, trying to get a run. 183 and 4 for Evan Hunter.
I don't know how he made that stick.
And where's Keyshawn Richardson and all this at number 99? There he is up the
He's
road.
up there. That's about the same distance Kukulon was, don't you think?
And Hunter has cleared Stout. Now, can they get by Keyshawn Richardson? Look at Nolan Lawrence also here. This could be 5 cars. Here comes Kukulon on Jordan Stout.
Now remember, Richardson's got a cold tires. He has to warm him up, and he's still got to get up to speed here. Richardson's going to hold the middle. Hunter's going to look low. He's got
big run
low on the front stretch here.
And he is going to lead that lap. Evan Hunter now to the lead, but Richardson did not fall off like I was expecting. He stayed right with these top 5, and now it's a 5-car race, and Richardson with the freshest tires of them all, right in the thick of it, and going for the lead off turn 2.
Where did Lawrence come from?
Remember, he did that undercut. He pitted sooner than anyone had probably a clear pit road because no one was on with him. He just kind of got in, out, and no issues, and got out there. Now he's up, battling for the win.
Well, Joe, it's now Richardson back in the lead, but at the beginning of season, it's probably his biggest rival, this 29 of Kukulon here. Does he have anything for this 99, or is his teammate in the 6 Stout going to help Richardson gain his lead a little bit here?
If Kukulon wants to contend for this championship, in my opinion, he needs to beat Richardson today because Richardson has had such a consistent season. Kukulon, remember, was so dominant early on, we thought there was no way anyone can beat him except for maybe his teammates. But as of late, he has really, really fallen off in that number 29. He needs to outpoint Keyshawn Richardson today if he wants to have a shot at this championship come the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And you're going to see probably some pretty aggressive driving from this 29 here. And we'll have to see if it works out in his favor, but he's definitely in a Roush sandwich right now. And real question is who's going to stay loyal, and it's definitely not going to be the 6 Stout as he goes to the bottom of Kukulon there. A little bit of a wiggle from the 6. Might be washing up the track too, but they kept contact away from each other.
Luke Renning, the 88, just hit pit road. Obviously some more issues on that car with the damage and whatnot. So here comes Nolan Lawrence looking for 3rd on Jordan Stout to 1 and 2, but can't complete the pass. As Keyshawn Richardson, though, he gaps the cars behind him. He pulls away as Kukulon had a really bad 1 and 2, and Jordan Stout gets around with Nolan Lawrence right behind him.
This is gonna start to get a little bit of a pushy shovey here pretty soon. You'd have to think, right? Especially with Kukulon pretty much holding these guys up. In all honesty, I mean, with Kukulon out front of these 3, he's kind of slowing them down.
And it's kind of odd because Kukulon has the same tires as, Evan Hunter right there in the 36. They have the same tires, and, Stout has the worst tires of them all, and Stout's pressured Kukulon. Now the 29 got a really good 1-2, gained back on the 99, pulled away a little from those 2 cars behind him. Nolan Lawrence has the worst tires of these guys in that number 19. He's back there looking on Jordan Stout. Keyshawn Richardson, the best of these guys on tires, but also watch for lap traffic ahead. Roger Ray and Jason Albert are there. There's the 49 of Teague, so they are right up the road for the leader. And for the 41, he's not damaged. He's just a little bit slower. He's falling off the pace. He's falling a lap down because of speed. That could be bad for these leaders because he's not going to be easy to lap.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to where does he go when the leaders catch him, Joe? It's going to be 2 weeks in a row where a lap car really hurts who's ever leading at that time, and we saw the repercussions of it last week, right? I think there was some fist thrown on pit road afterwards. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it makes you wonder if actually, never mind. The guy's right there. We're looking at him.
Yeah, we were looking at the guy who caused that
I forgot
mayhem
for a second, but then I was like, wait, it was the 29.
And the mayhem at the end of Daytona was caused by Kukulon, the man who cost Keegan Thompson a race victory. Thompson went down and showed his displeasure. Didn't throw any punches until the 5 crew got there, and then they threw some punches. But yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if anything ever came out of that from NASCAR. Was there anything?
I think the crew member got suspended, but that's about it.
All right, I wasn't sure. I was Keegan. I was talking to Keegan afterwards. Everything settled. He goes, I didn't throw a punch, so technically I shouldn't get penalized for it. And I said, you know what? You got a point, but I mean, it's really up to how NASCAR feels about it, I guess. And they just ended up, what, suspending it, or was it Hendrick that suspended him?
I think it was NASCAR
one of the two
suspended, but I'm sure Hendrick probably also threw in some.
Yeah, they probably weren't too happy about it.
Said you're making us look bad, but here is Keyshawn Richardson caught up in lap traffic with Jason Albert, trying to get low down into turns 1 and 2. But as these drivers are kind of messing around this lap traffic, the fastest car on the racetrack the past few laps has been Zach DeLello. He was nowhere near these front drivers, but he has gained to within now a second, and the battle for the lead is on. Kukulon got through lap traffic better. He's right with Richardson down into the bottom of turns 3 and 4, looking for the lead on the 99. They'll go side by side with 14 laps to go, now 13 at the line.
Yeah, I don't know if last time around there, Richardson tried to get the draft off that 41, but I honestly think it hurt him more than it helped him, because that allowed that 29 to sucker right into the back of him, and now he's making the pass for the lead. We'll have to see if he can clear him coming off of turn 2 here. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. The top side just seems to get you a run if you're by yourself up there, and there's no one helping the guy on the bottom, so this might be a tough battle and allowed third place to get back into this.
I was about to say, the longer these two stay side-by-side in battle, here comes Hunter, here comes Stout. Oh, Jason Albert slammed the wall. That will help DeLello get through. And that 97 Trey, he is flying. Got by Noel Lawrence for 5th. He's now within 3/4 of a second of the race leaders. DeLello is there. He has to pass 4 cars, obviously, to get to Kukulon and make a pass. But his main goal is to try and find a way to outpoint Keyshawn Richardson. He made some contact with Stout there. That's his teammate.
That ain't going to be a way to get up there. Well, Joe, you think about it. Was it New Hampshire? DeLello was at the end of a team controversy.
Matthew Burnett,
Am I mistaken there? Was it with Burnett?
Yep, on lap 1 of the race when Burnett had pole and felt that DeLello raced him too aggressively on lap 1, turn 3, because Burnett never got to lead a lap in that race.
That would have been something if he ended up turning Stout. That's not how you get in the good books of your teammate.
Well, battle for the lead back on. Another Roush car at the front. The points leader, Keyshawn Richardson, trying to take it back away from Kukulon. But as the two keep battling, here comes Evan Hunter and Zach DeLello. DeLello flying up as Keyshawn Richardson absolutely clears Kukulon and pulls away with now 10 laps to go. The 99 back on front, but new challengers approaching like Evan Hunter and Zach DeLello. Here comes Hunter for a second on Kukulon into turn 1, but falls in by the 29 once again.
Yeah, it makes you curious if maybe the crew chief or the spotter to the 99 told them that DeLello's on absolute rails right now, so you better get past his 29 and try to do something with this lead. And he made a pretty aggressive move going for it, and he ended up making it work. So now we'll have to see if the 99 can pull away any, and if this 97 is going to be able to push him down or not.
Would like to mention some drivers behind these front 6, as the front 6 are all within a second of the race lead. Behind the front 6, 7th place Chris Jericho having a good run. He's bound with Riley Spiritu for that spot. Matt as well as his teammate just behind there in that battle, along with Zachary Fitzwater Sr. who's moved up really nicely from a poor starting spot. Tim Gary right behind that with Justin Atkins, Eli Bright. Ronald Kennington is inside the top 15 with Hunter Reed. Both of them started poorly. They're moved up. Matthew Burnett, involved in the first caution, is back inside the top 20, trying to get some more spots in 17th. Mitchell Collins is there. Samet Ozga was involved in that crash. He's in 19th with Hernandez, the one who just missed that crash, in 20th. Laura Chung's dropped back to 21st with Idell in 22nd. Jack Haas continuing his run of good races. He's currently inside the top 25. Sierra's back there in that number 25. And then we look down like Lathan Strickland involved in the crash. He's 27th. Evans is down in 30th. We have 35 cars on the lead lap as the battle for third. DeLello gets to third by Hunter. Stout going for 4th. Nolan Lawrence going for 4th as it's a log jam behind the front 3 with 7 laps to go. DeLello passed Hunter. Can he run down the front 2 now?
Yeah, I mean, look how much time's left and look how big that gap is, Joe. It's going to be very close if the 97 can't run him down. So I'll be curious to see if he does get to them, if he hasn't driven the stuff off his tires by the time he gets there, because he's going to have to absolutely push that car. And by the point, like I said, by the time he gets to second place, it might be dead.
One heck of a battle right here. We last updated Jericho in 7th place, dropped all the way down now to 12th place. That's how crazy this battle is back here with Riley Spiritu, Matt as well. They're trying to get around Jason Albert in the 41. So there's still some pretty close battling right here as well in the second half of the top 10, inside the top 15. You can see right here as we go through the field where some of these drivers are. You can see the 49. He said, "Oh no!"
Oh, what a hit! What was that about, Joe?
I have no clue, Trey.
What was that about? It just looked like he deliberately turned up into the 24.
And how does this change the end of the race? We're coming to 5 to go, Trey. There's going to be a about 2 lap to go restart. Maybe even 1 lap.
I'm so confused right now. What did we just witness?
Yeah, we cut to that. 49 was in the grass. And
he just came up
into Zidell. I don't know, maybe the 24 spun him initially and he just came back up and said, "I'll show you what for," but for Nathan Baird, he had absolutely no role in that, and he got tons of damage.
Yeah, those were all vicious hits.
Yeah, every hit in that. All three of these cars took tremendous impacts, and for Hendrick Motorsports, they have to wonder what they have to do to get some sort of good luck. My gosh. Well, they're obviously going to stay out because there's going to be, what, 1 or 2 laps to go at the lines. They're going to stay on the racetrack. They have what they have now. We'll go check out what happened. The second caution flag is out here in the Tropicana 400 at Chicagoland. A massive crash with Colin Teague, Justin Zeidel, and Nathan Baird on the front stretch. Colin Teague, 1 lap down, slow in the 49, coming off turn number 4. He's going to stay up high to give Justin Zeidel as much room. You can see the 49 basically scraping the wall, and Zeidel Trey just comes up, gets into him, spins him down to the grass, and right here, Colin Teague corrects the car, and in my opinion, just kind of said to Zeidel, I did not appreciate that. For Jack Haas, great avoidance here, getting on the brakes, getting low.
Baby, watch these hits. Bam! The good thing that was passenger side, but that still hurts. But no, I just nipped the 22, and he's gonna spin all the way down on the apron, and he's gonna come all the way back up into the track, and I think he hits it head on too, which is just insult to injury at this point. Yeah, watch this hit right here.
Had so much speed going.
Smack that wall. But no, I gotta agree with you, Joe. It's starts with the 24 clearly. I mean, misjudging or just straight up turning the 49, and Teague gets it under control. There was no skid marks or smoke or anything, and he just roadblocked the 24.
Yeah, that was
I don't know how else you can say it.
I'm sure both drivers and teams are going to be taking a nice trip to the Big Red Hauler.
Oh, it's going to be the crew chief, the drivers, the spotters. It might be the drivers' mothers and parents and
car owners.
And anyone that you can call there. I mean, this is the second week in a row. Possibly technically third week in a row. Hendrick's been involved in some sort of scuffle. Everything's just falling around. Joe, what's going on?
Yeah, it's not been the summer of Hendrick this season for sure. Remember last season they were so dominant in the summer. This season they've been dominant. They've had fast cars, but they have just had so many issues. As we go take a look at this wreck one more time in full speed. And here's the final view of it. Teague up against the wall, Zeidel into him, and then it's on from here.
You can't say it's not. You can't say he was out of control, Joe, because he was going straight. He was going with the track.
And then Nathan Baird had nothing to do with that crash, but still involved in it. Zeidel drives him out. All 3 cars able to drive away, but I'm sure all 3 are going to be done for the day. And for the race leaders, maybe that's not what they wanted to see. It takes laps off, but it gives one final chance for these drivers to go crazy on this restart. Keyshawn Richardson, the points leader, leads, but 2 of his championship rivals, Chicagoland and DeLello, will be right behind him for the final restart of the day here at Chicagoland. Well, Trey, with all of the debris and carnage that was caused from that accident, a little bit of a longer cleanup, we're going to have a 1-lap, 1.5 mile shootout to determine the winner of the Chicagoland race here, Trey.
Oh, this got so entertaining, Joe. And this is going to be something.
And at the front, it's many of the drivers up there in the championship. Keyshawn Richardson, the points leader. Sebastian Kukel on the 29, looking for some sort of momentum gain. Zach DeLello, who had the fastest car before that caution flag, he's won 2 of the last 3, looking to go back-to-back in 3 of the last 4. Ken Nolan Lawrence might come from 4th on the final restart. It's going to be hard to do, but it could be possible. Evan Hunter still trying to keep a top 5 spot. You have Stout in 6th, Sprotube in 7th, Wells in 8th, Fitzwater 9th, and then 10th place is Gary. Watch for those guys as the car is out from that crash. Include the 3 involved, Teague, Baird, and Zeidel. 5 laps down for the 71 and Stapleton. Issues on pit road they had to fix. We have 33 cars on the lead lap. We're going to have a 1-lap dash here in Chicagoland. Who wins it? At the front of the field, the points leader, Keyshawn Richardson, trying to hold on. Kukulon and DeLello trying to get there in some fashion. What a jump for the 99 on the restart.
Wow, that 29 did not go at all.
And DeLello.
Oh, there goes DeLello.
Yep, best he can do now is second.
Car. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, that restart saved the 99.
Yes, it did. He jumped on the gas when he needed to. He didn't spin the tires. He did it just right. A textbook restart for Keyshawn Richardson. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. DeLello buries it in, trying to catch his teammate, but off of 4. It's his 4th victory of the season. The points leader is back on top with a victory at Chicagoland for Keyshawn Richardson.
Well, I think you can honestly say he was one of the top cars today. So if anyone deserved the win, it was definitely the 99, or you could also argue the 6.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, it was the right win.
Yeah, those two drivers led the most laps here today. We had, obviously, Chicagoland lead a lap or 2 there, Evan Hunter lead a lap or 2, but otherwise it was the 99 or the 6 out in front. And for Keyshawn Richardson, he got out front at the right time, held on, and that caution flag with the restart he got, it may have saved him, because if we had those laps run under green flag, maybe DeLello closes in, gets there, and has a shot under the green flag with, you know, laps on the tires, and maybe DeLello finds a way to get by him and get another victory.
Yeah, definitely. It could if it stayed green, who knows what could have happened there, Joe. But hey, let's is that your car in third right there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where everyone came across there behind the front two, because it was it was a big knot of cars. But we'll check out the finishing results and we'll go see who got what, with Keyshawn Richardson out in front over his teammate Zachary DeLello, as he ends up in 2nd place here today in that number 97. Nolan Lawrence did come home in 3rd place. He was the fastest car here in practice and was just as fast, looks like, in race trim. 3rd place for that number 19. Sebastian Kukelan faded to 4th there at the end, and a 5th place to Jordan Stout, the number 6. So once again, 3 Roush cars finishing inside the top 5 here today. Evan Hunter, a very good run for MB2 here today. Hunter ends up in 6th, ran inside the top 5 for most of the race. Riley's Bridget with a good run in 7th. Mathis Wells, winner here last year, continues his string of good races here in 8th place. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. in 9th. He really needs something good to happen this season, and it happened here today at Chicagoland. And in 10th place to another MB2 car, Tim Gary. Both cars once again finished inside the top 10. Justin Atkins ends up in 11th here today, with Eli Bright right behind him in 12th. 13th place to Hunter Reed, and 14th to Ronald Kennington. Really good days for both of those smaller teams that really just needed some good run out of today. Chris Jericho falls to a 15th there on that final restart. The 18 cars is not good at all in the final 10 or so laps. Mitchell Collins, winner at Road America, he ends up in 16th. Roberto Crown Jr. with a good run. Samet Osgood a top 20 finish. Anthony Hernandez and Matthew Burnett, he was involved in that caution flag, but still hangs on to the top 20 to try and minimize the points lost to his teammate Keyshawn Richardson. Laura Chung fade back to 21st. Jack Haas gets 22nd. Brett Seaver down here. Conrad Evans did his best to get up to 25th at the end and try and minimize his points lost to the points leader Keyshawn Richardson. As we look down here, we had 33 cars finish on the lead lap. Jason Albert, Roger Ray, Luke Rennie all fell laps down. Nathan Stapleton fell 5 laps down. And then from the 24 Zidell on down to the 14 Harrison Reed, all out from the 2 accidents of the day here at Chicagoland. And now, 20 races in, 12 races to go. Here are the point standings, and Keyshawn Richardson once again extends the points lead, but DeLello stays close enough because a 2nd place finish for DeLello keeps him within range. But drivers like Evans and Atkins, who didn't have the best days, Matthew Burnett, they have kind of fallen even more now, Trey. And could it now be down to the 9 or the 97, or are we still too early to tell if it's just going to be a 2-horse race again?
I mean, honestly, Joe, with how this season's gone so far, I still think it's too early to tell.
Yeah, I mean, 12 races, that's a lot, and we still have some wild cards, including the next race, a very, very big wild card, as we're going racing for the 21st race of the 2002 season at the Watkins Glen International for the Sirius Satellite Radio at the Glen. Trey, once again, road course racing for the 3rd and final time this season, and we saw last time Keyshawn Richardson not have a great day at Road America, and could something like that happen again at Watkins Glen, with track position meaning so much? If you don't qualify that well, Trey, you may not race all that well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's we saw it. I mean, qualifying is important, so we'll have to see how that all goes down, and I'm excited to get there.
Yes, I am too, because this championship battle is still very, very close, and who knows if any more drivers could try and join their way and make it even more cars for the points lead. What a race we saw here, though, in Chicagoland, with Keyshawn Richardson back on top, getting his 4th victory of the season in a timely manner here at Chicagoland, as he just edged out his teammate and championship rival, Zachary DeLello. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rokowski. So long from Chicagoland, but tune in to JRTV next week for the 21st race at Watkins Glen.